mentioned the Facebook. I mean, welcome to the world of social media.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm actually so shy on social media, but when I was selling this book, I became so active, you know.
Hello viewers, welcome to another episode of My Life Experiences. My name is Nyanewa Sosola, your usual host. I have a colleague here, Mr. Chiona. It's been a while since I last had a guest on the podcast. I've been having solo episodes, but today I've got quite an interesting episode. Mr. Chiona is an author, so I just want him to share with us what this book is all about. Here we are, welcome.
Thank you.
To this podcast.
Thank you.
Can you please just share with us your brief background? Who is Lingstonechiona?
Well, Lingstonechiona now is a grown-up man from Misuku Hills, that is in Chitipa. He was born and raised in Misuku Hills and Chitipa, but he trekked to town basically because of education and work.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. So you are an author. You've written a book.
Yes.
In fact, I've read your book. Quite an interesting book.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, just tell us in summary, what is this book all about?
Yeah, the book is the survival of a resilient boy. Mm-hmm. It talks about a boy who was born and brought up in a rural setting, mm-hmm. a village.
Yeah.
I can say in poverty, but I don't want to glorify poverty because you can go through it. Mm-hmm. And he encountered a number of challenges, both in terms of growing up, in terms of education.
Yeah.
But he went through it.
Yeah.
And he persevered and he made it in life.
Yes.
So basically it's about survival.
Yeah.
Not necessarily about the sufferings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So an ordinary boy surviving in the village.
Exactly.
In Misogo.
Yeah.
Deep in Chitipa, in the rural areas.
Exactly.
Hard to reach areas of Malawi.
Exactly.
Wow, what an interesting story. So when did you really conceive this idea of writing this book?
Yeah, I think it was in 2008 mm-hmm. when I heard somebody saying that everyone has got a story to tell. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think if I remember correctly, it was Eunice Chipangura then who was with Malawi Broadcasting Corporation.
Yeah.
So then I said, I think I have a story to tell.
Yeah.
And this story can be shared with many people. Mm-hmm. And I started drafting, but I said, at the second thought, I said, who can read it?
Yeah.
I packaged it, but the last 3 years before publishing it in 2022, that's when it gained momentum because I was motivated by somebody to say this is a great story and everybody shares in the story. Okay. Yeah.
So you had started this book in 2008.
But at that time I would write, abandon it, and maybe after so many time, so long a time, come back, abandon it until the 3 years prior to publishing in 2022.
So it took about 14 years?
Almost.
Oh my God.
Almost.
Yeah,
but because it was just a casual kind of
casual.
Writing.
Yeah. So as long as you started it and now you finished it and it's been published.
Exactly.
I think that's what matters in the journey of life.
Exactly.
When you conceive something or you've got a vision, you just have to start.
Yeah.
What matters also is finishing. Take it through.
Yeah.
People should be able to see the results.
Exactly.
That's what matters.
Actually, my children used to ask because I would write in the night. Mm-hmm. You started a long time ago. When is it coming out? So I said, no, be patient. Yes. It will come out.
Yeah. I think I believe that you've also planted a seed in your children's minds.
I hope so. I hope so too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, that's interesting. Me too. I've been thinking about, telling your experiences. I've got so many experiences.
Exactly.
It started also a long time ago. I've been thinking about writing a book. I was writing in some diaries, but you'd find that after some time the diary gets lost.
Yes, so that's exactly the same with me. Mm-hmm. If you come to my house, I have a lot of books, diary, so to say, where I could write a piece and leave it somewhere. But later on, I managed to gather all of them and put them together and put it in a story. But another discovery was that after I published, like I said, it was just so casual. And I didn't even think that people would have any interest.
Interesting.
But when people started reading it, I got an overwhelming feedback.
Yes.
That people identified themselves with the story. And quite a number of people were crying. Not because feeling sympathy or pity of me, but because they have identified themselves with the story.
Yeah. I mean, it really, I mean, this is the book. This is the book. The survival of a resilient boy. And it would really resonate with you. If you are coming from that ordinary type of life, you're coming from the village, like most of Malawians are, it would really resonate with you. So, yeah, just be on the lookout for that. Yeah. So, Mr. Chiona, what motivated you to...
Yeah, I wanted to share, especially with my children, because, like I said, I trekked into town. They were born here, they go home, but they haven't experienced that kind of life which we experience. So I wanted them to have a kind of a balanced kind of life. I never expected beyond my family, actually, until people started reading it and saying, no, this is an exciting story. So my motivation was just to share with my family, to say, you know, this is what you go through in life, but it is surmountable.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, I think these days, for our children, life is easier.
Exactly.
Yeah, life is easier, and sometimes it's very hard because the experiences that we go through, they make you.
Yeah, they mold you.
They mold you.
They strengthen you
into a resilient person.
And they build your faith, actually.
They build your faith as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it's a lot. I mean, you need to pass through that fire. You need to be beat upon.
Exactly.
In order for you, even when they are working on the blacksmiths, when they are working on their knives, their metal, they have to put it through fire. And they heat
it hard.
That's when it hardens.
Yeah.
But otherwise, that means the knife will not work.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they really have to do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a very good lesson also for children of today.
Exactly.
That's why there are a lot of people with the suffering with depression, they are suffering with stress, probably because they haven't been hardened enough.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And this book, while it is in a rural setting, it should be able to allow the children in town to connect with what is happening in the rural areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you started this book in 2008. You only finished it in 2022 when it got published. What sustained your interest?
Yeah, like I said, I had an idea of what I wanted to tell, but it was just like narrating, parroting, so to say. And when Victor Kaonga, the former director of Transworld Radio, found me doing it at home, so I said, what are you doing? I said, I'm trying to write a story. When he looked at it, he says, this is an interesting story. Can you complete it? Many of us are going to identify with it.
Yes.
So he gave me the momentum. And then I didn't even know whether a chapter would finish here and another one would end. So I just wrote everything what I was thinking and I gave it to him. And then he started step by step helping me with the structure. So and he pushed me so much. When I'm quiet, he will say, where are you? What are you doing now? Can you put ABC? So that's how I completed, and I owe everything to him in terms of encouragement and motivation. Yeah, because he had that time published, I think, a book, and he had published 2 books at that time. Yeah.
So all right, you're friends with Mr. Kaonga. So
exactly.
I just thought from there I can just get the power of connections.
Yeah. Otherwise, probably I shouldn't have published up to now.
Sure. You come from, you have the same background, or you just develop this relationship?
No, we first met when I was working in Mangochi. So we actually, it was after college when we knew each other.
You knew each other. Yeah.
But since then, he has been a friend. He was one of the bridegrooms at my wedding. So he has been a friend since that time.
Yeah. quite interesting to see. Sometimes you meet people, you never know when they will come through for you.
For sure. For sure. That's why I believe in living with everybody at peace, because you don't know where you are going to meet tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, and it also reminds me, it's the Bible. It's a Bible verse, the one you've just quoted, that you have to live at peace with everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah. You have to live at peace with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that probably you might have faced and encountered some challenges in this journey. What are some of those challenges that you encountered
when coming up with a book?
The book, yeah.
One was that I didn't know how a book can be published.
Yeah.
Right? Secondly, like I said, it was just a flat story without knowing where one chapter starts, the other ends.
Yeah.
So I had to seek guidance from people who had already published, like Victor himself. And then he also helped me to get somebody who could edit the story. And that was Nikoma Sauli Nyirenda, who edited the story. And when it came to publishing, he gave me a number of options. Either get a publisher or get somebody who has experience in publishing and see. And also the cost of publishing was quite a hindrance, but fortunately, like the printer allowed us to pay in installments until the book came out.
The book came out.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Sure.
Yeah, but now, how are you finding the market?
The first, I remember the first advert that the book has come out was on 1st April.
Yes.
2022. Within that, I had, because I didn't know that I would sell, I had only printed 150 books.
Yeah.
Within that month, I think we had sold about 120. So Victor said, if you want to launch, you cannot print 150, but I didn't have money. So what happened was, after somebody buys and reads, he recommends to somebody. And I get a call, like there was this interesting story. Somebody was coming from South Africa and he was with a Malawian, unfortunately he forgot her name, who was reading. So when he saw it, he said, this story looks very interesting. And I got a call that he was at Capital Hotel and I sold the book to him. Up to now I haven't met him. So that's how the market went. And that's the time also I got so active on Facebook, and I got a lot of asking on the Facebook and selling on the Facebook. But it went well, but it also taught me that maybe I have a limited circle of friends, or people who know me. But I was encouraged because some, like one guy requested it from Japan, the other one requested it from Canada after reading from their friends. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're only selling maybe through connections, but you haven't found an outlet like that.
Yes. I made some attempt to sell through a bookshop, but the procedure is that they would get the book, get 40% of the sales, you get 60%, but you do the advertisement. So having very few copies, I thought that maybe at the moment I can manage myself selling. If we have many copies, then we can go that route. The other route, I wanted to go through Amazon online. And the people gave me some contacts. I contacted somebody, says, yes, it's a good idea. But you know what? Like the book shops, it is the same.
It's the same.
They get a greater chunk and you remain with a small percentage. So I'm still exploring if we can get it online, that would be better.
Yeah, because you've said, mentioned the Facebook. Welcome to the world of social media.
Sure. I'm actually so shy on social media, but when I was selling this book, I became so active,
because this is a world of where we are going. They are talking about social media. They are talking about AI. They are talking
Yes.
about. So you have also to keep in pace with where
Exactly.
we are at.
Exactly.
If you want to really to achieve something in this world where we are going, and also these days there is what they call audiobooks. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yeah, sure. I've heard about it. Yes. Yes.
So maybe just explore. Have you explored anything on that?
No, on audiobooks I haven't explored on anything on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's a thing that we need to explore.
Yeah. This exciting story, your journey, how has it set pace for the children of Misuku, where you came from?
Well, maybe to start with my children, actually they appreciated it so much that they read the book, and they always ask me, how did you make it in life?
Yeah.
Okay. So last year, my relatives went home for tombstone unveiling, and so they brought the book there, and everybody says, "Oh wow, can we have this book?" So everybody relates with what, especially those who have lived in Misuku and they are reading. It is as if they are still living there. So some people, obviously, they didn't expect that I can write a book. Up to now is a big surprise to them.
Yeah.
That a boy from Misuku managed to write a book, and I sometimes get a call, is it you who really wrote this book?
This book, yeah.
Yes, even one colleague from college, he called me, are you sure you're the one who wrote this book? You know, so those are the things. But I know many people have been asking for volume 2. Like especially people who we have grown together in Misuku, they feel that I left some of the things that I should have included. So they're looking for volume 2, but I've told them, no, it's not an easy thing. And I'm not sure whether volume 2 can attract people on the same subject. Maybe I can write a book on a different subject.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's still in the pipeline. Are you thinking about any subject that you want to write about?
No, I've already written 2 chapters. I've been involved in marriage counseling for quite some time now. So I just want to share.
Okay.
That's what I've realized, that I can only write what I've gone through and I've seen and experienced. Yeah. I'm not a fictitious person I can just write something fiction. I don't know. Yeah. Fiction. So I'm already through chapter 2 of. I haven't called it the title of the book, but it's something on marriage.
On marriage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. But now you've talked about how your journey, how your book has impressed upon some of your friends from school, people who come from Chitipa. How about in the sector of education, the children of Misuku or the children of your village? Has there been any encouragement from your journey? Have you shared with them, looking at the fact that there's come somebody from this soil who has at least made it? He went to secondary school, which was not an easy thing then.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
it wasn't.
Yeah.
Actually, not only one. I met somebody who said that this one was a parent. He told me that, you made it. I'll fight for my children to make it as well. And it has been a motivation that from such a background you can make it. And it is like I opened doors for my siblings and also my cousins. They made it to secondary school, some to college. So there are a lot of people who are my age mates. They dropped out of school, but they want their children to learn and go far.
Yeah, but now looking at our landscape in terms of development here in Malawi, how do you see those children achieving their goals, their plans? Do you think it's more easy now to access education, like for example from your area?
It was supposed to be easy, but unfortunately it is not, because the population has grown. Why it is not, yes, we have community day secondary school, but they are not well equipped, both in terms of teachers and also in terms of materials. So there are quite a number of them going to making it to secondary school in courts, because many of them go to CDSS. Unfortunately, they, like some of my relatives, they do pass, but not as impressive. They just have Malawi School Certificate of Education. However, unlike in our time, the area has also opened economically. There are a lot of activities that are happening between Misuku and Tanzania, to the extent that this time, if you go home, for you to see a house without an without iron sheets, it means either is an old person, but with burnt bricks. You can't find a house without burnt bricks. So what they have done is, some of them they exchange cattle with iron sheets. Some of them, instead of selling their coffee to smallholder coffee authority, they sell across and buy iron sheets. Now there are a lot of Irish potatoes, there are a lot of onions, there are a lot of bananas. So quite a number of people have built houses, permanent houses, with bent bricks and iron sheets. And the village headmen, they had to come out to say, no more a house of Dindo. Everybody, it is easy to make bricks. What we can forgive you is when you don't have iron sheets.
Ah, that's good. That's a good initiative. By
exactly. The only challenge is the accessibility in terms of when you want to go there.
Transportation.
Transportation has been a challenge, but a few, maybe 3 years, they have patched up some slippery areas with some concrete, so you can easily access it.
Maybe mostly in summer season.
In summer season. You're right.
Okay, that's very encouraging. And one thing also from what you've said that I want to emphasize is that perhaps you have never been to Malawi, or if you are from Malawi, you've never been to Chitiba, Misuku, but Misuku is the home of coffee.
Exactly. There is home of Mzuzu coffee.
Yes. So they've got the best coffee here in Malawi. If you just go to Misuku, it's such a beautiful place. I've seen the picture. Actually, I am tempted to go to Misuku this other time, but I think we just didn't have enough time.
No, it's an interesting place. The old generations, they used to call it the Scotland of Malawi. Because the weather is quite cool. Even if it is summer, it's not as hot as other areas of Chitiba.
Now, we are talking about markets, and you said you are on Facebook, you said you are doing, maybe you are using your connections to sell the books, but suppose somebody is in Blantyre, how does he get the book?
In Blantyre, fortunately, there's somebody who's got some copies who sells on our behalf. A number of people have access through Blantyre. The only place we haven't succeeded is Mzuzu, to find somebody who can sell for us. But in Blantyre, they can get in touch with, if I can give the number, 999 0999 346 017.
So what about if somebody is outside of this country?
So they can get in touch with me. Like I said, I send one to Japan through Postal Corporation, but through DHL. Within 1 week they receive. So we agree on the shipment. So they can get in touch with me. I can give my contacts, and then we can make arrangements.
Maybe at the end of everything, you just give me your email address, then I'll put it in the video so that whoever is watching, they want to get in touch with you through email, they want to place an order on your books, I think they can easily come through to you. So Mr. Chiona, you've just shared your journey, very interesting journey, and has there been any place for faith in your journey?
Yes, it is interesting. Like in this book, one of the chapters is that I'm surprised that people are always surprised. You will find that when I was in 4th year in college, I gave my life to Christ. That's the first time I joined school. And when I came out of college, I think the brethren that time probably they were doubting of my faith and my conversion. So some of the brethren, when they found me in Mangoch where I was working and I was active in my local church, they were surprised that, so you are still standing, you know. So my thinking was, so they were doubting me all this while I was in college. Yeah, so I've learned a lot, and part of this is because of the faith that I got. Because when you read this book, you will see that along the way, I think I had kept a lot of grudges. And there are people probably I wouldn't dare go to them if it were not for Christ. So that's why I thought the Word of God is the most powerful transformative tools.
Yes.
Because what happened was that after giving my life to Christ, I started reflecting on myself. And I said, I think I have a lot in these things. So what I did was to forgive myself first.
Yeah, forgive yourself. Yeah.
And then I started forgiving each one of the people. I kept grudges because I realized I had also responsibility. And from that time, I made sure each one of them, I said I will never visit. I visited them.
Yeah,
and up until now, I do visit them. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, as you have said, forgiveness heals you. First.
Exactly. It heals you.
First and foremost, it heals you.
Yeah.
It could be that you could forgive somebody. It doesn't necessarily mean that once you forgive them and maybe you visited them once, it doesn't mean that you should maintain that relationship. No. You can still set your boundaries. It's okay. But as long as you have forgiven them, you have told them that you are forgiven.
Yeah, forgiving actually frees you. Because when you don't forgive, what I realize and experience is that you enslave yourself. You know? You cannot ask for anything. You cannot ask for help because you know you are keeping something against somebody.
Yeah.
So when you forgive and you forgive yourself, you release yourself. Yeah.
And even the Word of God in the book of, I think it's Matthew, it also states that if you want maybe to pray or you want to bring something to the Lord, before you do that, you have to leave it at the altar. Go back to your friend with whom you've got issues with. So settle those issues. And once those issues have been settled, then you come back and finish with your worship of God. Yeah, so it's very important to forgive. It frees you. It gives you joy. It gives you peace. Yeah. So if you are there, somebody, you are listening to this, you can just learn from the story of Mr. Chiona here. What would you say to your younger self? Suppose you had a younger Lingstone here, with what you've gone through, what you've learned in life so far. You've written this book. Looking back, reminiscing at everything, what would you say to your younger self?
Yeah, you know, as you then read from the book, you find that when I was growing up, I kept a lot of grudges against many people.
Yeah.
And when I sit now, I said, if I had the light of the Word of God at that time, probably I would have done differently.
Yes.
What was happening is apportioning blame to others. Each time you blame others, and yet you also have a share in whatever was happening. So I couldn't take responsibility of my actions because I was just blaming others. So it is good to take responsibility of your actions. And I think you could do more. And sometimes you find yourself even exaggerating what has happened just because you want to seek sympathy from others. And so that the others, they look that they are in the wrong, while you have a share in the wrong. So if, like the way I am, that's the way I was at that time, I think I would do differently. And I would be at peace with everybody, and I think I would have achieved more.
Yeah, because usually when challenges are happening, it's always a two-way affair.
Exactly.
So you should also reflect and say, how did I take part in this?
In this,
It's always a two-way affair, and you don't just have to heap blame and look at how can I change? How can I
Yeah.
be a better person from this?
Yeah.
Yeah, and another thing also that I've learned is that even the word of God, it says that everything works together for good.
For the good
Yeah.
of those who love Him. Yes.
Yeah. So you may be facing a lot of challenges in life, but just know that it's building you, as we've already said. It builds you,
Yeah,
builds
it
your
builds you.
resilience.
Builds your resilience and you. Yeah. Sometimes I said, probably I wouldn't have made it without going through what I went through.
No,
you
no,
know?
no, it's not possible.
Yeah.
It's you had to be molded to be the right person. So coming to the end, just advise a would-be writer out there. They are contemplating writing, considering it. What would be your advice?
Yeah. A number of people, of course, they have come, like you said you have a story. A number of people have come to say they have a story. How did you do it?
Yes.
I do explain that, yes, my writing was casual, very casual. I didn't even think of the audience. I didn't even think somebody would even come and read the story.
Yeah.
That's why it was very casual.
Yeah.
But having come to an end that I have published the book, I think when you put a pen to paper, be determined. Don't leave it
Okay.
until you finish it. Because at that time, you know, you can make a jointed story. Sometimes when you take too long, you lose some of the stories that you have. Because you scribble in this paper, you find that paper is not there tomorrow. So it's very much important that when you put pen to paper, be determined, be focused, and don't mind other people's business. No, until you finish it. Yeah. But most importantly, if you don't know where to start, there are people who have published a lot of books. You can get in touch with them.
Yeah.
Like my second book, I think I'll be in touch with Esau Banda.
Yeah. Actually, mentioning Esau Banda, you've just reminded me. He's written a number of books, and I see his books in the Foodways at the Mesnowati. They have got a section where they just put lots of his books there. They sell for him. Maybe you want one of the outlets, you can just get in touch with the Besnoati shop. Here in Idirong, where you see.
That's why I want to meet him. I want to meet him so that he can share experience with me and see also how I can spring ahead.
Yeah. All right, viewers, we've come to the end of this episode. I hope you have been encouraged. As Mr. Chiona here has said, if you've got a story to tell, just put pen to paper and run with it. People are going to listen, people are going to read it, but you just have to start. And he's also talked about keeping grudges. Don't keep grudges. Be willing to forgive. So much treasure from this discussion.
Thank you
and
so
I'm
much.
so appreciative.
Thank you so much, Wes,
I don't take
for
it for
bringing
granted.
in me in this storytelling. It is true life story. It is not fiction, but it's true life story. And many people have identified themselves with it. So it's good.
Yeah. So in case you are wondering about the life of an ordinary Malawian, challenges that they face, this is the book to buy. A book of survival, the survival of a resilient boy. Not focusing on the challenges, but the survival part of it. And at the end of everything, I just want to finish with the word of God from Psalm 127, verse 1. It says, unless the Lord builds a house, they labor in vain who build it. Unless the Lord guards a city, the watchman stays awake in vain. So, from this, what I'm getting is that you have to include and involve the Lord in whatever you are doing. When you accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish, you have joy, you have peace, you have forgiveness. Thank you so much, friends. Stay blessed.